Our next message is First Peter chapter 4 and verse 13. One of the things that's most difficult for every person, but especially for Christians, is to remember that we will suffer for Christ. I think when you read through First Peter especially, that seems to be the main theme of the letter, is how to handle suffering as a Christian. But so far, when we look through First Peter, we've looked at Christ in First Peter, but we mainly looked at how Christ is our example and would have the same mindset as Christ. One of the beautiful things about the Bible is that it is balanced, so it doesn't just talk about the difficult challenges of being a Christian, which there are many: prayer, waiting on God, being patient, being kind when others aren't, love your enemies, forgive, and we could go on. But one of the things about the Bible is it's beautifully balanced. And in this chapter 4, verse 30, in this Bible verse rather, we have the reward for suffering, for doing what is right and pleasing God. And so the beautiful thing about the Bible is, yes, Christ is our example, and that is challenging for every Christian. But the beautiful thing is that Christ not only gives us the mindset and the example and actually the power to do it, the indwelling Holy Spirit, but He's actually going to reward us for the suffering that we have. And that's the theme really of chapter 4 and verse 13. Today's title is Christ, our joy in suffering. That's one of the things that is really important as a Christian, is that God actually fills you with joy. It's not that we particularly enjoy suffering. I don't think the Bible teaches that. But it does teach us that when we live right and we do suffer, that we will experience joy. 1 Peter 4 verse 13, rejoice inasmuch as you participate in the sufferings of Christ, excuse me, so that you may be overjoyed when His glory is revealed. We know that one day Jesus Christ is coming back, and everything that the Christian has suffered for, and they've done it faithfully, God is going to reward them with an abundance of joy. He can reward you with abundance of joy now, but in the future He's going to reward us with even greater abundance of joy. Here we see that Jesus Christ is the joy giver in trials. When we suffer for doing what is right, we actually share in, is the word, excuse me, we share in the sufferings of Christ. We have a deep spiritual union with Christ in His suffering. This joy is not based on present ease, but on future glory and eternal hope. It thinks about the time when Christ comes, when His glory is revealed, and this refers to Christ's second coming and the unveiling of His full glory. Romans 8 verse 17. So many Bible verses we could look at that remind us of this. We suffer with Him in order that we may be glorified with Him. Matthew 5, 11 and 12. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven. Christ taught that joy should accompany persecution for righteousness or for right living. 2 Corinthians 4 verse 17. Momentary affliction is producing an eternal weight of glory. Earthly pain leads to eternal gain. And we all need the encouragement that when we suffer for doing Christ, not only does Christ give us the strength and actually come near to us in a really special way, even whilst we're suffering, but in the future we're actually going to have an abundance of joy when His glory is revealed. And so we're never alone in the trial. Our trials and difficulties that we face will bring joy when we're focused on Him and relying upon Him. We aren't just enjoying, we're actually walking with Christ. his common glory makes common sorrows worth it. Let's remember that there's nothing that we experience as Christians that Christ himself didn't experience, apart from the fact of our sinful nature. So maybe you're forgotten, but remember, Christ was forgotten. Can any good thing come out of Nazareth? Maybe you're sort of rejected by other people, but that was how Christ was treated. Maybe you're misunderstood. Christ was misunderstood. Maybe you're lonely, but Christ experienced the ultimate loneliness on the cross. And that's how we participate in the sufferings of Christ. We actually experience the things that he experienced in suffering, in following his Father's will and going to the cross. Charles Spurgeon said this to finish: when you suffer for Christ, you are not merely enduring hardship, you are walking the sacred road he walked before you, and you will shine with him in the end. What an encouragement to us. When you suffer for Christ, you are not merely enduring hardship, you are walking the sacred road that he walked before you, and you will shine with him in the end. So be encouraged. Christ is our joy in suffering. Rejoice.